Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. We will be reading from Canto 4, Chapter 3 this morning. Before that, we will recite the prayers to seek the blessings and auspiciousness of our predecessor Acharyas, so they can, if they so desire, bless us and give us the understanding to connect to this beautiful message of Bhagavatam. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। We'll also recite the invocation prayers for Srimad Bhagavatam. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। शुश्रूषोश्रुतधानस्य वासुदेवाकधारुचि स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा पुण्यतीर्थानिषेवनात्। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदयन्तस्थो ह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। तदा रजस्तमो भावा कामलोभादयश्च ये चेतयेतरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति। एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते। भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Welcome again for this morning Srimad Bhagavatam reading. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 3. In today's verses are texts 12 and 14. 12 to 14, yeah. Okay. This is a very nice and very practical section of Srimad Bhagavatam, where we would be seeing this kind of situations almost in every grihastha's home. And it's very beautiful. In one sense, Shukadeva Goswami is presenting very openly what happened between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. And at the same time, what are the lessons that we can take? Of course, they are way beyond. They are not attached householders like us, but yet, for the sake of exemplifying both how to conduct and how not to conduct ourselves in this roles as grihasthas, it's very beautifully describing section, text 12. Pashya prayantirabhavanya yoshito apyalankrita kanta sakhavarudhashaha ya samrajadbhi shitikantha manditam nabho vimanai kalaham sapandubhi. We'll read the word to it. Pashya, just see. Prayanti, going. Abhava, or never born. Anya Yoshita, other women. Api, certainly. Alankrita, ornamented. Kanta Sakha, with their husbands and friends. Varutashaha, in large numbers. Yasam, of them. Vrajadbhi, flying. Shitikantha, O blue-throated one. Manditam, decorated. Nabha, the sky. Vimanai, with airplanes. Kalahamsa, swans. Pandubhi, white. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Shil Prabhupada Ki Jai. O never born, O blue-throated one, not only my relatives, but also other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. What? Here, Lord Shiva is addressed as Abhava, which means one who is never born, although generally he is known as Bhava, one who is born. Rudra, Lord Shiva, is actually born from between the eyes of Brahma, who is called Swayambhu, because he is not born of any human being or material creature, but is born directly from the lotus flower which grows from the abdomen of Vishnu. When Lord Shiva is addressed here as Abhava, this may be taken to mean, quote unquote, one who has never felt material miseries. Sati wanted to impress upon her husband that even those who were not related to her father were also going, to say nothing of herself, who was intimately related with him. So this is Mother Parvati is addressing Lord Shiva with all these names. It's, one sense, very beautiful and poetic. But on the other hand, we see this in Srimad Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita. We have these explanations by the acharyas. When Arjuna was addressing Krishna as Madhava, which means you are the husband of Lakshmi, that means auspiciousness. Why do you want me to fight the war and bring inauspiciousness? Or you say, I think, Madhukaita Bari or something like that, which means you are the killer of Madhu. He says, you have killed the demon Madhu, but not your own family members. Why are you asking me to kill my family members? So in that sense, when they are using a particular word to address the other person they're speaking, it's very intentional, whatever they're speaking. So here, Mother Parvati is talking about Lord Shiva as never born. And Prabhupada is explaining, even though he is born from Lord Brahma, but he is not born in a typical way, like a mother-father interaction. He just is born from the eyes of Lord Brahma, who himself is again not born in a typical way. So she's addressing, you're never born, so you don't have parents. So please try to understand one who has parents and the attachment. So that's where I want to go. So she wants to impress upon that. Even those who are unrelated to her father were also going, to say nothing of herself, one's own daughter. So please, I want to go. She's continuing this discussion. Once he said, no, you won't be properly invited or treated, you would be hurt there. Please don't go, because Lord Shiva is really caring and wishing well for Mother Parvati. But as we see from many of these verses, she is not thinking of all that. Obviously, she has this very nice relationship with her parents, of course, before the wedding of Lord Shiva. So she just wants to go, like, particularly from this verse, she's seeing all these beautiful denizens of heavenly planets decorated with nice clothes, ornaments, and whatnot. And we see that in the Indian weddings. Yeah, wedding is there, groom and bride are there. But more than that, we want to get ready. We want to, celebrate the joy and everything. So that's also an important part of going to an event. So she wants to obviously go also join the festivities and fun uh, at her father's Daksha's place. And then she is addressing as blue-throated one, which is Neela Kantha. Wait. Shiti Kantha. Yeah, Shiti Kantha. Okay, that's a blue-throated one. Lord Shiva is addressed here as blue-throated. Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison and kept it in his throat, not swallowing it or allowing it to go down to his stomach. And thus his throat became blue. This has happened during the churning of milk ocean before nectar. They actually got this poison. They didn't know what to do. They were all like burning with this poison. And then Lord Shiva, out of his compassion, he came and he drank the whole ocean of poison. And because there are other living beings in his stomach, so he doesn't want to drink it, because that would cause them problems. So he doesn't want to leave it outside. He doesn't want to drink it all the way. So he actually keeps it, drinks that whole entire ocean of poison and keeps it in his throat. So it actually becomes blue. And Mother Parvati is bringing that here for a purpose, not swallowing it or allowing it to go down to his stomach, and thus his throat became blue. Since then, he has been known as Neelakantha or blue throated. The reason that Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison was for others' benefit. When the ocean was churned by the demigods and the demons, the churning it first produced poison. So, because the poisonous ocean might have affected others who were not so advanced, Lord Shiva drank all the ocean water. In other words, he could drink such a great amount of poison for others' benefit. And now, since his wife was personally requesting him to go to her father's house, even if he did not wish to give that permission, he should do so out of his great kindness. So again, she is addressing Neelakantha, Shitikantha, with a purpose. Please, you have done this such a great act of drinking the whole poison for the benefit of others. Can't you please do this little thing for me? Because I'm asking, I want to go to my father's house. Please, even though you don't really like it, for my benefit, as you are the well wisher of this whole entire universe, can't you be well wisher of me and then do this little thing? Give me permission that I want to go. And what's interesting here is Lord Shiva is actually genuinely wishing well for Mother Parvati. That's the reason he's not giving the permission to go. Sometimes, even with our relationship with Krishna, we think, Krishna, please give me this. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking you anything else. If you're really my dear Lord, if you're really loving and kind, please give me. But what we are asking may actually cause us a problem and may take us away from Krishna. Sometimes these material opulences or comforts, they can actually make us complacent or proud or whatever, which can take us away from Krishna and the devotional service. So sometimes, if Krishna really cares, he may not allow us to get that thing, whatever we are asking. And we would get all upset and, why are you doing this? I'm actually doing this so I can become a better devotee, so I can use all that wealth or whatever power or whatever in your service. Why are you not allowing me to have that? Please, can you be kind? Can you be really by my well wisher? But we may not understand right away, but if we wait for a while, then Krishna can actually reveal why we were not allowed to have that. Why is he not bestowing us whatever we are desiring? We can actually see how that actually benefited us. Sometimes waiting for some time, if it's a spiritual desire to become better in our sadhana or services or something else, desiring for a particular service, uh, waiting for that can actually increase our hankering and make us value that whatever we are getting, instead of just we ask for and Krishna gives, then we may not really understand the full value of it. So when this is happening, it may be hard for us to wait and hard for us to understand why Krishna is doing this, why Krishna is not reciprocating immediately with my desires. Whereas we do have these glimpses or experiences where Krishna, like this right away, even before we ardently ask, sometimes he just reciprocate whatever is the desire in our heart. So these other times, why is he not responding? Why is he making us to wait? Then we can take a pause and actually trying to reflect, what does Krishna wants me to learn in this situation? Why is he, wanting me to wait and not allow whatever I'm requesting him for? In this situation, also Mother Parvati, she's just so carried away by seeing all these airplanes and beautiful ladies and all the decorations, clothes, ornaments, everything. She's just operating on that, emotional platform. Everybody is going, I just want to go. Yeah, that's it. Please, Lord Shiva, give me permission. I'm off. Here, go. But if she pauses and reflects, like, why is he saying no? It's not, yeah, sometimes husband may say, husbands or wives, either way, they may say, okay, don't do this, out of their own volition or whatever. But we can take a pause and say, hey, I understand you don't want me to do this, but I really want to do this. Could you please share why you're saying no? Why do you think it's not good for me to do? Is it not the right time, or you don't want me to get that, or whatever? We can actually engage in that discussion. But here, as we can see multiple verses, Mother Parvati again and again, she is insisting, she's not even giving a chance for Lord Shiva to share his perspective or why he is saying no. uh, that's something we can actually learn. We don't have to necessarily agree with whatever the other person is saying. No, you can't do, whether it's a husband or when we are doing services together, the other devotee who is saying no. We don't have to directly agree. We can respectfully open our heart and say, hey, I really want this because, whatever, this service is very dear to me, or I really want to get this, or whichever is the case, we could express our heart and why is it so. And at the same time, give the other person a chance to actually open up, instead of just saying, no, you can't do this, or no, you don't buy that, or whatever. That's the stuff which goes on between husband and wife. One wants to buy, and the wife or husband says, no, you don't get that. And then they were like, you're always like this. You don't want me to get anything, whatever I want. Instead of going that route, we could go, hey, why are you saying no? I really think it's going to help us please, can we get it? And why are you thinking not? So, respectfully opening up the heart and giving the other person space to reflect and discuss can actually makes the heart connect better. And from that place of connection, if Mother Parvati hears this no, she would have been in a better position to receive and stop. Of course, this is all happening for a higher reason. So it has to happen this way for Daksha to learn his lesson and become killed by Lord Shiva's associates and everything. But the point is, from here, what we can take practically is the connection between the two persons in that communication. It's very, very important instead of the one-sided connection. We'll move on to next verse, text 13. Katham sutaya pitragreha kautukam nishamyateha suravarya ningate anahuta vyadi anahuta abhyanti sauhradam bhartur gurordeha kritascha ketanam. O best of the demigods, how can the body of a daughter remain undisturbed when she hears that some festive event is taking place in her father's house? Even though you may be considering that I have not been invited, there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, or father without invitation. She's going to the next level. She knows that Lord Shiva is going to say, okay, fine, your father's place, this is happening, and everybody is going. You may want to go. But the thing is, they haven't really invited you. So that means they don't want you to be there. She anticipates that Lord Shiva says this, and she's even before he says, she's actually putting a counter argument saying, as a daughter, how can I remain undisturbed when I'm seeing everybody else is so nicely decorated and going to my father's place and they're going to celebrate? I'm just sitting here alone and thinking of, oh, what would my mother wear or what would my sisters do? All this stuff. And my heart is like so agitated here, and I would be so morose even if I stay here. So, and she's presenting, even though you're considering I've not been invited, there is no harm. So, this is a principle like to one's friend or husband or spiritual master or father. It's considered your own home. You're so close to them, so you don't really need an invitation. Like here, everything happens with appointments in USA. But in India, I don't know how is it the case now, but at least when we were young, sometimes we wouldn't even know like the guest is coming. They would just show up. I mean, here we are seeing only friend, husband, spiritual master, father. But people, neighbors, or whoever, just randomly, like just like that, they drop in, and my mother would stop her work, whatever she is doing, and they would be talking sometimes for other hours. And me and my brother, we used to get like how long they would be talking. So it would be doing something or other. When we were like kind of probably 12, 13-ish, we were very mischievous. So we would be polite, but at the same time, very silently kind of disturbed. So my mother would be done and she would, come back to her things. But still, they would continue to talk. They'd be like, oh, go inside and do this or do that stuff. So, such kind of uh, uh, respect and regard for the guest, whoever visits. That's the Vedic culture. Whenever someone drops into your home, whether invited or not invited, you are honoring them. Like you're treating them with respect and giving them your time and attention, everything. So here Mother Parvati is saying, so that shouldn't be a problem whether I'm invited or not. As such, I'm their daughter to go to my mother and my father. I don't really need an invitation. And particularly when something so big festival is happening, they would be actually very happy to see me. They may be actually missing. So she is thinking of all this. and she's giving all these arguments, like, similar to Arjuna at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. He's presenting these arguments why he should not fight from different perspectives from Dharma Shastra. This is a case. The dynasty will be destructed, and women will be polluted, and it will bring inauspiciousness. We won't have anybody to share the kingdom and happiness. When the heart is agitated, the mind just goes through this whole set of arguments. When we are so fixated on doing something or getting something, we come up with every kind of possible argument why it's so important, why that's the only thing that we need or we need to do. So in those moments, it's not easy, definitely not easy when we are in that space. I can totally relate. Sometimes I just need to do this like right away. uh, but taking a pause, particularly when, husband or wife or the other devotee whom we are serving are saying, okay, hold on, maybe wait for a while, then it's better to actually take that pause. Even if you want to buy, they say, Amazon, you add in your cart and you actually wait out for a day or 7 days, whatever is there, and then see if you really need it, instead of acting on that moment like as a reflex. You actually take that pause and reflect and really see if you're going to be needing that stuff, because most of the times we buy, we may be excited for a day, 2 or 1 week. After that, it would just be gone in some cupboards or something as a thing to be thrown out. So instead of acting on that reflex, it would say very nice thing to take a pause and then really reflect. So again, the same thing here. If Mother Parvati doesn't keep on going through this series of things that the mind is putting, oh, you need to go there because of this reason or that reason or some other reason. If she holds on and uh, let Shiva speak and share, she would have been, probably avoided the situation. Text 14. तन्मे प्रसीदेदममत्यवाञ्छितं कर्तुं भवान् कारुणिकोपदाहरति त्वयात्मनोर्देहम् अदभ्रचक्षुषा निरूपिता मानुगृहाण याचिता. O immortal Shiva, please be kind towards me and fulfill my desire. You have accepted me as half of your body. Therefore, please show kindness towards me and accept my request. So this is she's continuing again. And now she's pleading. She gave the reasons, and now she's like, please be kind. You have actually accepted me. Ardhanarishwara, Lord Shiva gave half of his body, and accepted half of Mother Parvati's body. That means um, they're so intimate in any situation, like for any wedding. They actually refers Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, Gauri Shankara, Lord Ramachandra and Sita, as the ideal couple that, as a role models for any new couple who are getting married. They would actually bless them. You be like that. And rightly so, because they're so intimate. And here we are seeing even such close wife and husband, how things can come. We can actually see. And what's again important is Lord Shiva, how he is so intimate and how he is so tuned and well wishing for Mother Parvati, that, any husband, they would be like, oh, you know what, they're asking, okay, I know it's not good, but okay, let me just say yes and let them buy and let them be peaceful, whatever. They may say that, but here Lord Shiva knows like Daksha's nature and how he's going to treat his daughter, and how she's going to be hurt, because she's very, very sensitive and she cannot handle any kind of insult to her husband. So Lord Shiva knows that. So that is why he is not saying yes in spite of all these pleadings. So again, uh, uh, between a wife and husband, this kind of relationship where one is so attuned why this person is saying whatever saying, both from Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati's side. One thing, if I remember correctly, what goes on further, she says all this and she wouldn't even wait for Lord Shiva to say yes or no. She just leaves. She says, okay, I'm going. I really need to go. She tells all these reasons and she pleads and she just leaves. And then Lord Shiva actually asks all his associates to go, just so it can be protective for her if something happens there. So we can see how when we are so overcome with this mind's thing, and another thing here is uh, the kind of association, and we see this in Bhagavad Gita, Sangat Sanjayate Kama, how the desire starts when we starts contemplating, when the senses see something. She saw all these beautiful 8 planes going in the sky and saw these beautiful ladies decorated in all ornaments and beautiful clothes, everything. And then she starts thinking of, oh, I also want to go. She starts the desire, and from that desire it becomes so strong and it becomes like, goes towards the anger later at Daksha's place, and she actually gives up her body. So we can see that the whole thing of what Krishna says, how the fall down happens just by this attraction and the association with the senses. And when that happens, what we can learn from this section is taking that pause and reflect ourselves, and discuss with someone who is a genuine well-wisher. This is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Is it a good idea? My heart is really wanting to go to my father's place and be part of all the celebrations. I know I'm not invited, but I really want to go. What do you think? Can you please share your thoughts? And then, if Lord Shiva said no, then probably she would be able to, through that discussion, through that style of communication, it's much easier for a person to listen to the other one. So, to summarize, I'll just stop sharing. Here, Mother Parvati is requesting that she wants to go to Daksha's place for this very wonderful and amazing yajna with a lot of festivities and so many people going. She really wants to go, rightly so. It's not wrong that Mother Parvati is deciding to go. But only thing is, what kind of a person is Daksha? Yes, generally a father or mother, they would never mistreat their children, especially the daughter. It is very, very, daughter is very dear to the parents. So they would never mistreat. They would always shower love. So that's where Mother Parvati is coming from. It's okay, even if I'm not invited, I would still want to go. But the thing is, without hearing what Lord Shiva has to say and being in that place of not trying to just listen to our mind and let it rule, but be able to take a pause and reflect and hear from other person would actually save us from such catastrophic situations. Of course, as we were saying, this is happening for a very higher purpose. Krishna is doing multiple things through this one act to teach all of us grihasthas how we need to communicate and learn from this, and at the same time for Daksha to be punished and purified of his pride and all his uh, very bad qualities in spite of being a Brahmana. That pride and being the very powerful person, he is actually going on that path of destruction. So Lord is again kind to remove all those unwanted qualities. He actually using this pastime to actually help Daksha also in one sense. So I mean, this is all for us to learn and apply practically, not necessarily that, they did not do something right. It's not that Mother Parvati would have done this or Shiva would have done that. Uh, no, that's happening for a purpose, for a reason, by Lord's supreme arrangement. But through each of these sections, what is that we can take and practically apply in our own lives so that we don't get, carried away by our mind's rulings. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for joining the discussion this morning. If you have any thoughts or reflections, please share. I see two ISKCON Naperville. Probably one is Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu, and I'm guessing other is from the wonderful DT Seva team from the temple. Thank you for joining. Okay, if we don't have any reflections, we'll stop here. Thank you again. You have a very wonderful Krishna conscious day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. शील प्रभात की जय. हरे कृष्ण.